97. And we are now going to go through the process. We're going to go through the process of writing out or thinking out. I'm not going to make you write it, but I'm going to make you think out every major scale. Okay? Although, I might mention that the number of major scales is actually endless. When you get all the way to the end of the sharp scales and get all the way to G sharp, then there, of course, you know, after G sharp there could be a G double sharp, and who would ever do that? But so let's just say we're going to go all the way through 7 sharps and 7 flats. Okay? All right, so for instance, I'm going to go down here to, is that Sam on the end?
Yes.
Yeah. Sam, and I'm going to ask Sam to tell me how the D major scale is. And if you'd like to write it right in your book while we're at it, you can. But let me ask Sam first, and I don't know is a perfectly acceptable answer. I'm not trying to make you look dumb, all right? But I just want to see if you have any tricks. So everybody, when it's your turn, I'm going to ask you if you know, and if so, how do you know? And maybe you will learn from somebody else instead of learning from me. So let me ask Sam, how would you go about determining how many sharps or flats would be in the D major scale?
The acronym you gave us
Yes.
yesterday that I've forgotten.
Fried chicken?
Fried chicken.
Did everybody get that? Maybe I ought to put that on here.
Fried chicken goes down.
Every
Fried chicken goes down awful easy, brother. And that acronym tells you exactly the order that the sharps come in, and it also dictates that if they have to come in this order. In other words, if there are 3 sharps, they can't be any random 3 sharps. They have to be the first 3 sharps. If it's 4, it has to be the first 4, right? We will never have a B sharp until we have all of these others too, all right? So, okay, that's a good place to start, all right? What other trick are we going to need to know? All right. Now I like that, and so I'm going to make you do that. How's that?
Okay.
I like that because that's the absolute way to determine what a major scale is. Now I also shared with you a little trick that would get you out of that. But let's go this way first. All right. This is also the perfect way if you have time to do it. If you're doing this on a test and you have to get them all done in an hour, it might be better to use your shortcuts that make things go faster. But so let me feed them to you. D is the first note. What's a whole step above D?
E.
It's Sammy's turn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
E, and a whole step above E is
F sharp.
F sharp. That's correct. A whole step, or sorry, a half step above F sharp is
G.
and a whole step above G is,
A.
and a whole step above A is,
B.
and a whole step above B is,
C sharp.
and C sharp is a half step away from D. All right, so the D scale has 2 sharps. Now, let me refresh your memory, those of you who have forgotten. The quick shortcut is you say to yourself, what's tonic? Tonic is D. What's the half step below tonic? Would be C sharp, right? C sharp is the last sharp in the scale. That means that we have to have an F2. So, in other words, if C sharp is the leading tone of the scale, there are 2 sharps. All right? All right, now let's go on to Matt. Matt, we're now about to endeavor into the key signature for the A major scale.
Okay.
Do you want to tell us how you would go about this?
Same way.
Same way? All right. Which, do you need me to feed you the notes, or can you just spell it out for us? there you go. We have, so he said we would have the C sharp, the F sharp, and the G sharp. And that is correct. There are 3 sharps in the scale of A. Just to check, to make sure it fits with our shortcut, let's say to ourselves, A is where we're aiming at, the leading tone is G sharp. G sharp is the 3rd sharp, so we must also have these other 2. And we do. Okay? Good. And now, Daniel, hoping that you have not yet figured out the method or the series of this, would you do the E major for us?
I have not figured out that series yet.
Good. Oh, you mean you
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
What I was talking about is there's a pattern in this assignment
Okay.
that some people catch on to earlier than others, and which whenever you figure out that pattern, you absolutely quit thinking because you know the answers to the rest of them. How many have figured out the pattern? Okay, very good. Good, Daniel. Let's start with an E. Starts with a whole step. What's a whole step above E?
F sharp.
F sharp, that's right. Because E to F is early food, is breakfast cereal, is the half step here, right? So we start right away with F sharp. And then the second whole step in that scale is
You say G sharp,
G sharp, that's correct. And now we need a half step.
which would be an
A, and now we need a whole step,
to a B,
and to another whole step,
to a C sharp,
yep, to another whole step,
to a D sharp.
D sharp, that's right. So we have 4 sharps. If we had gone the easy way, we would have said E is the name of the scale, the leading tone is D sharp. Then we'd look at this and said D sharp is the 4th sharp, so we have all 4 of those sharps, all right? All right, Chris, you surely, well, it doesn't matter if Chris has figured out the pattern yet, he knows all the scales anyway, right? B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, 5 sharps, all right? And for those of you who haven't figured the pattern out yet, we're adding a sharp to each scale, okay? So the next one will be 6, and the one after that will be 7. But isn't it kind of weird how we have strange things happen to our memories? I remember from a very, very young age, I don't know how old I was, I may not have been in school yet, but of course my mother, come on in, Greg.
He's here.
He's here.
That's a little bit earlier than 2, dude.
What's up, Greg? Oh, I saw that silver cup there, or mug there, and I thought you brought a trumpet. And I hope you didn't bring that one.
I told him about the one with the bullet hole.
Oh, you can play that one, all right. Somewhere I heard my mother teaching somebody else, and this is how I learned it. My mother was teaching some piano player, a piano student, that B has 5 sharps, and she said, and I don't know whether she meant it as a tool to help remember, or if she just said it out of luck, but she said B has a whole handful of sharps, which happens to be 5, right? A handful is 5 fingers, right? So if you just remember